Hello, good afternoon, and good morning. I'm LaKendra Tooks, and it's time for Tooks Takes. We've got a big show today, huge show, where we will be asking the tough questions. What kind of friend are you? Where's your loyalty? Would you give up your seat on a private plane for me? Or are you out here showing people my former fatty photos? And how does someone make someone else's cancer about them? These questions and many more will be answered today on Tooks Takes. And might I add, Tooks Takes is the only 2 T's you need. But first, or shall I say, primero, let's get into the Real Housewives of Miami. Now, by the way, y'all, this weekend, I learned something new. I should only watch Real Housewives in the privacy of my own home so I could just scream at the TV. Because I tried to watch this week's Real Housewives of Miami whilst I was at the gym, whilst I was on the treadmill. And let me tell y'all, I'm sitting there, or shall I say, walking there. Okay, screaming at the phone. I am doom, getting it. I got the incline up to 12. People were staring at me. I thought they just thought I was cute, but it was like, no, ma'am, can you please shut up? Because you're loud. And it's like, no, I can't shut up. I'm mad. Why are these girls trying to ice Guerdy out, y'all? It doesn't make sense. Guerdy's nice. She could throw an amazing party. She's a cancer survivor. Sure, she's a bit of a motor mouth, but I'm a motor mouth and my friends still love me. It feels like Barracuda, Cocky, Delulia, and Plastic Pippin, they got together and said, let's ice her out. We got rid of Dr. Nicole. I bet we can get rid of Guerdy next, but I don't know. I'm rooting for Dr. Nicole, Guerdy, and Stephanie to keep their foot on Barracuda's neck next season. But before that, let's talk about Adriana. Now, Adriana has a dog. Her dog's name is Basquiat, which I think is adorable. And she's about to get Basquiat neutered. But before he gets neutered, she wants to take him to the doggy brothel. Let him get his rocks off. Let him get one last bone. And Adriana says she regrets her behavior on the boat. She regrets calling Marisol bony knees. But she does not regret saying, you think you're cool girls, but you guys are just cool girls. She doesn't regret that because that line is genius. But Marisol is actually having a preppy party, and she wants to invite all the girls, including Adriana. I mean, Adriana's calling me an old lady. She's even older than me. Really? Adriana's older than Marisol? Marisol, girl, you gotta lay off the cockies because no offense, Marisol, you're a beautiful woman. I love your style. I adore you. But Adriana does not look older than you. I think you might look a little bit older than her. You might look a little bit older than her, Marisol. And that's okay. That's okay. Your energy is very abuela, very old school abuela. And Adriana's more like, she's a hottie. Adriana's a hottie. I'm not saying Marisol's not hot. I'm just saying Marisol's not a hottie. You catch my drift? But anyway, the ladies want to plan a trip to Spain, okay? And they really want to plan this trip for Alexia to kind of just like distract her, get her off this toddler coaster that she's been on. So Julia and Marisol, they're like, look, let's take Alexia to Spain. She loves Spain. Let's take her there to clear her mind, get her mind off this divorce, to which I'm kind of like, what? Like, this is Alexia's 3rd marriage and 3rd divorce. This is her 3rd marriage. This is her 3rd divorce. She should be a pro at getting married and divorced right now. Married, divorce, snip, snap, snip, snap. Like, what's the big deal here? I don't think we need to take her all the way to Spain. And then, of course, what's the first thing Alexia says? I just have to make sure I'm back by November 18th because it's Todd's birthday. Dang, Barracuda. You on the toddler coaster. Bad. And I feel like my girl Guerdy, she's on her own little Guerdy coaster alone. And I feel bad for her. Like, she is so iced out of the group right now. She has to do FaceTime scenes with Dr. Jackie of Married to Medicine. She's trying to get advice from Dr. Jackie, whom I love. But I'm even listening to her advice. Like, your advice doesn't make any sense, Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie's like, just tell him thank you. For what? Thank you for icing me out. Thank you for gaslighting me, not believing me when I'm trying to tell you my truth. I didn't really understand the advice, but Guerdy seemed to understand the advice. So I said, good for Guerdy. You know what I'm saying? Now, up next on The Real Housewives of Miami, we see the most boring, sad double date I think I've ever seen in my life. New girl Stephanie and her elderly husband, Julia DeLulia, and her mean old elderly wife, Martina. And Stephanie says, how are the babies? How old will you be when they turn 20? And Julia's like, well, aren't you 67? Martina's like, girl, I'm 68. You don't even know how old I am? And so when these kids are 20, if Martina's 68, when the kids are 20, she'll be 88. Dang. So anyway, Stephanie starts talking about her estranged sisters. And then Julia says that her two oldest daughters are no longer speaking to them because it sounds like they kind of covertly adopted these babies. And okay, let's talk about this for a second, y'all, because, we all have parents that are older, right? Like, yeah, our parents are older. And I think about that sometimes, like, how would I feel if my parents had another baby, if they adopted another baby? I think I would just be looking at them like, you guys are super old. Like, are you really in a position to not only raise another child, but, to take care of another baby? Like, I'm looking at Martina and Julia. Martina's never done diapers, and Julia hasn't done diapers in like over 20 years because her kids are grown. So it does seem kind of like, why? Why are y'all not only adopting these kids, but they're babies? And it doesn't sound like their older daughters are cool with it. Now, I don't know why. Now, because I always think back to like Alec Baldwin. He married this younger woman. They had 97 kids together. Now, and prior to that, Alec Baldwin only had the one child with Kim Basinger. So I was always like, she's probably like, dang, now I got to split my inheritance like 99 ways. And I thought that inheritance was going to all come to me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's what Julia's daughters are thinking about. I would venture to guess that they're thinking, what the hell are you two old lesbians going to do with these two baby boys? Because when Martina is talking to Stephanie's husband. Now, Stephanie's husband, I don't have anything against a May-December relationship. Y'all know I am a childless MILF. So I am attracting a younger guy here or there. Would I date an older guy? Absolutely. I mean, I don't really care about the age as long as you're still young at heart, as long as you're fit, as long as you have energy. And I'm looking at Stephanie's husband and I'm just like, dude, you're really old. Like, he's old. And he's sitting there and he's like, Martina, I'm a big fan of yours, Martina. I remember your arms from the 90s. And meanwhile, Martina's going to be in her 90s when these babies they just adopted grow up. So, I don't know. I'm just sitting there looking at this. It's just a sad looking double date. Very, very sad. And because Martina, here's the thing about Martina. She's not in her prime anymore. She's old. She's tired. She can't even play tennis anymore. She can't even really teach the boys how to play tennis. I would think that would be Martina's real, the real benefit, the real privilege of having Martina, I can't pronounce her last name, world-renowned tennis player, having her as a mom. It's like, yo, teach me how to play tennis so that I can carry on your legacy. And she was saying that she doesn't even want to teach them how to play tennis. So, I mean, I'm looking at you like, Martina, sweetie, ma'am, or shall I say ma'am? Let me be respectful, Miss Martina, because you are a lady of a very particular age. Now, I'm a lady of a particular age, but she's very, very, very particular. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm almost running out of time. I need to hurry up and freeze my eggs and meet a man that I would like to unfreeze my eggs for. I need to hurry up and do that because the clock is ticking for me. So if my clock is ticking, Martina, your clock has tick-tocked, ma'am. So once again, I feel like I got to say this every week. We got to get the Miami CPS involved, y'all, because if I need to go rescue them babies, I will go rescue those babies because they are adorable. I just feel bad that they got to live with these two crazy old ladies. I kind of feel bad for Stephanie that she got to live with that old man. I know he's rich, but I'm like, dang, he's just so old. I mean, like, I know we've seen some, older husbands on the Housewives before, but I don't know. I just feel like Stephanie's husband, he low-key seems older than Tom Girardi to me, which I know that sounds crazy to say because Mr. Tom Girardi, he is definitely, he's not knocking on heaven's door at this point. But I feel like when he used to be on Beverly Hills, he was an older guy, but he was still cool. He had that kind of like older, distinguished gentleman, charming thing going on about him. And I'm just not really seeing that from Stephanie's husband, Mr. Masood. He just seems like an old ass man. But Stephanie, if you like it, I love it, girl. Congratulations. You got your PJ, and you got to give an old man a BJ for the PJ, but you do what you got to do. Now, let's fast forward to Marisol's preppy party. Now, this party looks like fun. I love all the decor, and I love a theme. Y'all know I love a theme. I love the preppy look. I love the prep style. You don't know I'm Southern. And I feel like down South, we kind of have a little preppy style going on as well. I think I look a little preppy today. It's like a little ribbed knit, nice forest green, the color of money. Because, being preppy is all about that money, okay? And so now Guerdy arrives. And I feel bad for Guerdy. She doesn't have a single friend in the group. Not even Kiki. Because her and Kiki were chatting, and then Kiki runs and tells Marisol, Guerdy says you guys are in a cult. What's a cult? And of course, Marisol and Barracuda, they're sitting there like, no, I'm offended. That is so sinister. How can she say we're in a cult? So they asked Guerdy about it, and Guerdy's like, yes, I did say you guys were in a cult because I'm trying to talk to you and you're not listening to me. You don't want to read the text, which the texts pretty much just show my truth and that Julie is lying. So why are y'all refusing to look at the text, And I just feel like I'm alone here. And I felt so bad for Guerdy because I'm just trying to understand. We've seen housewives get iced out here and there, but I don't know. There's just something about... Maybe it is because Guerdy's a cancer survivor. And I'm not saying being a cancer survivor, trumps everything. I'm not saying that. But I do think that should be taken into consideration just because even though you're in remission, which I feel like I had to say this last week too, even though, yes, she is in remission. Yes, she is healthy. She still has to deal with all the aftermath of it. And that's a lot. Like while they're planning this trip to Spain for Alexia, Guerdy loves Spain. How come there wasn't something special like this planned for Guerdy while she's going through her cancer? Like, to me, that just seems so unfair. Like, everybody has to stop, and I think Alexia is playing the victim. I mean, I do think anybody who's going through a divorce, my heart goes out to you. But anybody going through cancer, dude, my heart really, really, really goes out to you. I mean, this is life and death. This is your health, okay? A judge can't bang a gavel and boom, you're healthy now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm confused. The Real Housewives of Miami right now, they are confusing me. And I don't like it. I don't like getting confused when I'm watching my favorite show. So I'm still just trying to understand what is the group's issue with Guerdy. And I feel so bad for her because I feel like this is an example of gaslighting. I know that word gets thrown around a lot, but I feel bad for her. And I'm ready for the reunion, y'all. But already judging from the seating chart, like why is new girl Stephanie in chair 1? Why? She has not done anything to deserve chair 1. I feel like she must have bought chair 1. And Andy, if you're listening, hey, Andy, you got to go in on these ladies. Like, I really feel like you should have called me to host this reunion because no offense to you, Andy, you are an incredible host, but I think you need somebody who speaks these ladies' language, okay? They're bilingual, but I'm trilingual because I'm like, don't try it, okay? Don't try it in here on this day. I'm trilingual. But let me tell y'all something. Now, I know I make fun of Larsa because she's had a lot of work done, but I can vibe with her on her fashion sense because Larsa's like, look, I don't dress preppy. Marisol and Stephanie, they dress like abuelas, but I like to dress slutty. Yes, I feel that. It's not like I like to dress necessarily slutty, but, I like to show a little leg. I like to show a little bit of body. I like to still be demure, but I feel you on that. I feel you, Larsa. You spend a lot of money on that body, girl. Show it off. Dress slutty. And you know what? I did not know this, y'all. Did y'all know that Adriana is studying at Harvard? She's doing like a psychology course. And of course, Larsa kind of turns her nose up at it. Because we remember last season when Larsa told Dr. Nicole, oh, you're not even a real doctor. You just put people to sleep. As if an anesthesiologist is not a real doctor. Give me a break. I mean, yes, Marisol and Stephanie, I don't like their style at all. Stephanie, I feel like I've already kind of dragged your fashion sense because I feel like you've got all that money and no style. Money can't buy a style. Money can't buy a style. Because it definitely did not buy you any style, Stephanie. Because, I mean, Stephanie's not even 40 yet. And she dresses like she's the same age that Martina's going to be when those babies turn 20, okay? But now, before the party can commence, Marisol and Adriana, they have to call the truce. And I love that. Because sometimes in the housewives world, you got to let that go. And maybe that's what Adriana's learning at Harvard. Did y'all know she's at Harvard? She's graduating next spring, okay? And she's like, girl, and Larsa's like, girl, whatever. You're just taking some online classes at Harvard. Anyone can do that. Well, then let's see you do it, Pips. Pips with the silicone nips and the silicone hips, showing pics of her feet for tips. Let's see you go to Harvard, Pips. Anyway, let's fast forward once again, because I'm kind of over this Guerdy and Julia DeLulia feud. Blah, blah, blah. Guerdy is expected to be the bigger person when this crazy lady is straight up lying. I just can't take it. So Barracuda and new girl Stephanie, they need to have a little chit chat because Barracuda is always Barracuda-ing at Stephanie, okay? And Stephanie's like, look, I'm a businesswoman. You have to stop barking at me, okay? But also, would you like to ride on my private plane to Spain? What? Stephanie, you don't even like her. You don't like her. She don't like you. Why are you inviting her on your private plane? So Marisol didn't want to fly private without Alexia. And Alexia didn't want to fly private without Marisol. But Julia, on the other hand, she's totally willing to ditch her so-called supposed bestie, Adriana, and fly private without her. I will say, I kind of feel Adriana in this moment. Because for me, if you're my best friend and we're kind of on the outs, like I get it, it's Stephanie's plane, but I think it would have been really nice of Julia to say, you know what? You know, Adriana and I have been on the outs a little bit. Can we bring Adriana on the plane? You know, I feel like that would have been really sweet of Julia to throw that out there. But Julia, I don't think Julia's being a good friend to Adriana at all right now. And word on the street, and as we can see in upcoming episodes in the mid-season trailer, Adriana and Julia are going to really go at it. I mean, Adriana is already kind of dragging Julia online. I personally can't wait to see it because, Julia, you deserve a good old-fashioned Adriana-style dragon. She's going to get you. Adriana is going to get you because she is like the dragon of dragon people. She spits hot fire when it's time to drag you. But I will say, I know I talk a lot of smack about Alexia Barracuda, cocky Marisol, but I think their friendship is really sweet. I think it's really sweet that neither one of them wants to fly private without the other. And then, you know, poor Alexia, you know, she's on the toddler coaster. She's an emotional wreck. And I'm glad that she's got Marisol by her side. One thing I will say about Marisol, she may drink a lot, but she never gets too drunk to remember how to be a good friend to Alexia. She's very loyal to Alexia. I don't know if she's loyal to the rest of the ladies, but if nothing else, Barracuda and Kaki, they're loyal to each other. Ay, por favor. But let me tell you, there's only a little bit of loyalty over on the OC. There's some blind loyalty going on between Heather Dubrow and Tamara Judge. And we're going to get down to the bottom of this, y'all. We're going to get down to the bottom of it. Now, let's go down to the Orange County because Gina, poor little Gina, she's having a housewarming party, and God bless her, because there was no room to party in the casita, but now homegirl got space. There's plenty of room to party, plenty of room for the kids, because y'all know they got a real Brady Bunch situation going on at their house. Their new house is nice, as Shannon likes to call it. But you know what's not nice? Figuring out a way to make someone else's cancer diagnosis about you. Now, I'm sure Theodore Mellencamp loves the shout out because there's no such thing as bad press to any of these ladies. But I feel like Tamara is playing the victim and expecting sympathy over her friend's cancer diagnosis, and I truly have no words for this. Now, Tamara, I get it, because I'd be devastated if my bestie had cancer. But I still wouldn't make it my storyline on a reality show, Tamara. I don't buy it from you. I don't buy the tears. It feels disingenuous, inauthentic. The tears, they seem fake. And I think this is a deflection from truly focusing on what a horrible human being Tamara is. I think this is all a deflection. And I think Heather Dubrow might secretly be a horrible person too. Jen says she's bamboozled. I think she's tam-boozled because Heather is just doing, she's doing anything she can to justify Tamara's horrible behaviors. Like when it comes to the former fatty photos. Well, I could see it from someone else's perspective. And it's like, you know what? I want to see, Heather. I want to see you eat salads. Go back in time. Watch last year's reunion, the tail end of last year's reunion, if you don't know what I'm talking about. So I got to figure this out, y'all. So Heather's been tam-boozled, and I need to know, what does Tamara have on the Dubrows? I need to know, because Heather's a smart girl. I don't know. Maybe Tamara knows that Heather doesn't eat solids. I don't know. Allegedly. But she did say it. The words came out of her mouth. Okay. But what could it be? Is Dr. Terry using black market Botox? Did he go to the Mickey Mouse University for med school? What could it be? Now, Heather already spilled the beans that he's wearing lifts in his shoes. And, and then Heather's talking about how Katie told lies about her. And I'm like, I don't think Katie really told any lies about you, Heather Dubrow. She said that you staged the paparazzi photos, which I believe. I believe you staged the paparazzi photos. I just do. I don't think the paparazzi's following you and Dr. Dubrow with his lifts. He's wearing lifts. I'm sorry. That's just so lame. I get it. The short king. Shout out to the short kings out there. You may want to, put a little platform, a little lift, wear a little heel. I'm a huge Prince fan. Prince was always known for wearing heels, but I don't know. I'm kind of looking at Dr. Dubrow a little differently now that I know he wears lifts in his shoes. Kind of lame. Sorry, y'all. I have to hydrate. I am a basic bee. I don't leave home without my Stanley Cup. This is so suburban housewife of me, but what can I say? And this is unsponsored. But Stanley people, if you want to sponsor us, you should. Because I love ice cold water. That's when you're a lady of a particular age, you got to stay hydrated. I want to stay hydrated. I stay hydrated because I don't want to be thirsty like Tamara. So Katie asked Tamara, how'd your meeting go with Jen? And she immediately was like, oh, well, Jen started calling me names. And Gretchen's like, didn't you call her a single white female? Because Jen didn't call Tamara names. She just called her sick, which she is. And then here's Tamara lying again. Well, Jen's out here building relationships with people who don't like me. Like you, Gretchen. First of all, Tamara, nobody likes you. Not even your kids. And Gretchen's like, the girl reached out to me for advice after you were out here straight up telling lies, very damaging lies, about her fiance while she's dealing with the custody of her kids with her ex-husband. And Tamara starts her BS again. And Gretchen's like, I can't take it. You're delusional. Excuse me, I'm going to go outside because you're delusional and I cannot sit here with your delusional self. And then Emily Hulk is like, well, did you apologize for the Facebook comment? Be the bigger person. No, Emily, you're the bigger person because you're Hulk. The rest of us don't have to be the bigger person. Quit trying to turn lemonade into lemons. But Gina has a surprise. Yo, let's all go to New Orleans. And Tamara starts crying. Oh, I can't think about New Orleans. The last time I was in New Orleans, I was there with Teddy. And she slipped and fell down some marble stairs. Feel sorry for me, y'all. Feel sorry for me. And now listen, I don't mean to seem insensitive to what Teddy is going through because I offer her nothing but prayers of hope and healing. Anyone out there listening right now, if you've got a terminal illness, my heart goes out to you. My prayers go out to you. My beef is not with Teddy. My beef is with Tamara because I feel like she's just trying to garner sympathy because she knows that we know that she sucks. And we are screaming it from the mountaintop. We're not taking any more of this ugly old lady behavior, Tamara. We're over you, okay? Can I just be kind of shady towards Katie for a second? I just want to know what she was thinking when she was naming her children because I'm sorry. Sorry to any of the Gavins out there. If your name is Gavin and you're listening right now, thank you. But I mean, she's got one son named Gavin and another son named Bandon. What's Bandon? I mean, is this a name? Is this from like a book that I haven't read? I've never heard of anyone named Bandon. I've heard Brandon. I've heard Andy, and I've heard all kinds of names. I've just never heard Bandon, and it just kind of sounds like abandon. Like I just feel like if I was in middle school and there was a kid in my class named Bandon, I'd be like, yeah, whatever, Bandon. I'm going to abandon you, Bandon, So it's like Gavin, Bandon, Katie. I don't know. Your children are lovely. I just don't like their names. Sorry. But you know what? Jen and Ryan, I love Jen and Ryan. They're at the gym. They are getting wedding ready. They're doing all hard stuff. Now, y'all know I am in my fitness era, but I'm not hitting it as hard as Jen and Ryan are. Jen and Ryan are those people with the ropes. They're rolling big old, 18-wheeler size tires down the road. They are really committed to it because, Ryan wants to see Jen get married in a bikini. Jen's gonna be a bikini bride. And I'm like, Jen, baby, you're ready. You don't even need to work out that hard. You're ready. You can put that bikini on and walk down the bikini aisle right now. But now, one of the things I like about Ryan, I know last year people were saying a lot of stuff about him. We can definitely talk about his fashion sense. He does love to have on a matching coordinated jean outfit with leopard print and Gucci in the back. That's how he likes to dress, which is fine. But I like how he's stepping up with Jen's kids, because I don't know what's up with Jen's ex-husband, Mr. Will. Mr. Will, what's going on? Are you having financial hardships? Why aren't you paying the child support? Okay, because we even get a little cameo from Jeff. Hey, Jeff. We get a cameo from Jeff because Jen was on Jeff Lewis Live, and Jeff was going through, her settlement. She's supposed to be getting all this money. She hasn't gotten any of it from her ex-husband, Will. And it's like, dude, Will ever give Jen the money she deserves? Will, give Jen her money. Give her money. What's going on? Jen, do we need to, I know you're from Oklahoma. Do we need to, show this guy some Oklahoma? Do we need to call one of your backwoods cousins? We got to get your money for the kids, because y'all got a lot of kids and you need the money. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? Here's what I'm learning here, y'all. When you're getting divorced, there's the divorce with the husband, but then there's the kids and the custody. There's a lot going on here, y'all. Oh, future husband, if you're listening, I'm letting you know right now, when we get married, we're staying married forever, because I don't want to have to deal with this. It's too much. We even see it with Gina and Travis. I mean, Travis has this ex-wife that's causing all kinds of drama and all kinds of trouble. And now, Travis and Gina, they haven't seen Travis's oldest son in 3 weeks. The kid's not going to school. It is a lot. I mean, this is why, y'all, my single girlies and gays, you got to be really careful about who you marry. Make sure you've seen them angry. Make sure you've seen them upset, because the claws come out during these divorces. If there is nothing else, this dress is bunching up bad, y'all, but that's okay. That's okay, y'all. Sometimes the dress bunches up a little bit, and that's okay. For those of you who are watching on YouTube and Spotify, thank y'all for watching. And guess what? Sometimes I get a little riled up and the dress rides up. It is what it is, but I still feel cute. Anyway. So I feel bad that Gina is having to deal with that. And it's hard, too, when you're dealing with somebody, when your partner is going through it. Because I think Gina and her man, they already got her ex, they already got all their stuff worked out. So now Gina has to be there for Travis. And then I'm just looking at my girl, Shannon. Shannon's like, look, I don't want to date right now. I'm just going to do my thing. I'm a free bird. And Shannon, girl, I do not blame you. I'm in the same boat right now. As y'all know, I am on strike. The strike continues because I don't feel like it. I just don't feel like it. And I honestly, anybody else, if you're tired of the rigmarole of dating, take my advice, baby. Go on strike and just live for yourself. Be a free bird. Shannon, I'm with you, girl. We are free birds, and we are flying high in the sky, spreading our wings. And we ain't having to deal with no dingalings. Spread your wings and say no to dingalings. All right, ladies? Be free. Now it is time for the trip to New Orleans. Now, I love New Orleans. I love New Orleans because I like to eat, I like to drink, I like to party. So when I go to New Orleans, I have a good time. I actually did, me and my cousins, we did a little girls trip to New Orleans, and there might be some footage of me out there really wasted. Really wasted. That's why I'm always very careful about who I travel with now. Because I got some cousins, they like to capture everything on film and put it on Facebook. I'm like, dude, my mama is on Facebook. You can't be putting drunk me on Facebook. Everybody from church, my mama, my aunties, I can't let them, they can't see me in that light. So the girls are in New Orleans. They're having a good time. There is a lot of chatter about Tamara and about her behavior. and about how she apologizes and then goes and does the exact same thing all over again. And as we all know, the only true apologize is a verb. The only true apology is changed behavior. So if you tell me you're sorry and you're still being a bitch to me the next day, you're not really sorry. So the ladies are thinking about it and they're talking about it. Like, what are we going to do? We're going to have a chit chat with Tamara. And it looks like next week, the showdown, it's going down in New Orleans. It's going to be Hurricane OC in New Orleans next week. And this is what I've been wanting. Do you remember several seasons ago where the ladies really laid into Tamara and they told her she was crap and she ran away? Looks like we're going to get another runaway Tamara next week. And I personally can't wait. And before we get out of here, you know I like to leave y'all with a little bit of my wisdom. I like to leave you with my Tooke's takeaway. And today's Tooke's takeaway, I think we can learn a lesson from these housewives. And I know I talk a lot of smack, but at least I'm not a bitch. You know, don't be a bitch. Don't be mean. Don't be evil. Why? Like, what do you get out of that? And I'm telling you, being mean and evil, it ages people. I mean, hello, look at Tamara. I mean, she looks okay right now, but she has to get a lot of work done. What if you could just be nice? I bet you the Lord would protect your eyes from all those wrinkles if you would just be nice. You know, sometimes wrinkles and bad skin is a form of karma. So listen, y'all, I know that we love it on the Housewives, but in our real everyday life, I want all of us, we're going to be nice. Let's be nice. Unless we're talking about Tamara. Then we could be mean. Because she's mean and she deserves it. But for everyone else, y'all, let's be nice. That's the Tooke's takeaway for today. Don't be a bitch. Be nice. So you can be beautiful. And you'll get to have beautiful, smooth skin. Stay hydrated and stay nice. Don't be a mean, old, nasty old lady icing people out. Come on. We too grown for that. And we're too blessed. Life is good. What do you get out of being mean? I hope you're listening, Tamara. Quit being mean. We want to see some change, girl. You're going to therapy. Are you still going to church? You need to be in church. But we want to see some change. Own your stuff, okay? Quit being mean. That goes for the ladies of OC and the ladies of Miami. But listen, y'all, I'm being a little bit of a hypocrite right now because I got to let y'all know this week we're going to do a bonus episode of Tooke's Takes because we have to talk about the Valley. We haven't really talked about the Valley yet, but I want to talk about the Valley. And I know you guys are watching the Valley. I know you guys have a lot of thoughts about the Valley. So we're gonna do a bonus episode this week, and I'm probably gonna negate everything I just said because I'm gonna be really mean when I talk about JCPenney Janet. I'm just giving you a heads up right now. But I know that you guys will join me in the JCPenney Janet mean train because she gets on our nerves. But anyway, listen, I gotta get out of here. Thank you all so much for joining us. Ken's Day crew, Team Tooks, thank you so much for all your love and support. We are growing. We are on our way to becoming the #1 podcast in the world. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at LaKendra Tooks, at Tooke's Takes. And y'all are the best. I hope you're having an amazing Ken's Day, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.